eating disorders, the feared term for any individual, parent, or medical professional. Ranging from anorexia nervosa to bulimia to binge eating disorder, these illnesses are not a choice and are increasingly prevalent in our society. According to the National Eating Disorder Association, or NEDA, eating disorders can impact anyone of any race, ethnicity, background, age, or gender, and these illnesses have no boundaries or limitations. 9% of the population, or almost 29 million people, will suffer from a form of an ED in their lifetime. And most importantly, 22% of children and adolescents show common signs of disordered eatings. These can include restricting, overeating, overexercising, purging foods in different ways, or eating in private. This is me. I'm Molly. I've suffered and been treated for different kinds of disordered eating. My story begins in the COVID year of 2020, when the gyms closed and we were forced to stay home. I was helpless and lost. Working out had always been a passion of mine, and without it, I didn't know what to do with myself. Not being able to work out struck my fear of weight gain and caused me to begin to restrict my meals in certain food groups. I often claimed I wasn't hungry or I already ate. I quickly began to drop weight and got very sick very quickly. I didn't realize at the time that skipping meals or cutting carbohydrates would have a lasting impact on me and my mental health. Over the course of time, I began to restrict myself in other ways, and my friends and family began to notice my bad habits. However, many people commented how smaller than I looked, which validated me and my habits, causing me to continue. I didn't realize that me being tired 24/7, being sick, or unable to fight illness was the cause of what I was doing to my body. It wasn't until my sophomore year of college, many years later, that I received my treatments. My therapist one day asked me in a group setting, "How do you cope with your feelings or negative emotions?" To which I quickly responded, "Oh, I restrict my foods and my caloric intake." This was cause for concern and earned me a referral to a specialist. After undergoing weekly treatment plans and constantly being met with medical professionals, I began to feel hopeful and strong again. I underwent treatment for many years and continue to seek help from my care team today. However, I am not the only one who suffers or suffered from this mental illness. While it wasn't something I was aware of at the time, many males and females in my demographic also struggle with body image, eating, and disordered patterns. This is Madeline Wallace. While she was lucky enough to be one of the few who actually seek and receive treatment, however, sadly, unlike me, Ms. Wallace did not win her battle. She was a college student attending university much like me. She was hospitalized many times and received treatment for her struggles with food. She was in hospitals, inpatient centers, and had a care team of doctors, medical professionals, and a support team made up of her friends and family. Madeline's mom claimed that she was a wonderful person and had many friends. After her first year of college, Maddie returned home from school and was diagnosed with musculoskeletal disease. Maddie later passed from complications with sepsis. Her history of restriction and disordered eating caused Maddie's body to experience weakness and the inability to fight the sepsis illness. At just 18 years old, Madeline Wallace passed away to her battle with anorexia. There have been many books and articles published from various sources of stories of individuals from all backgrounds, genders, ages, and races that struggle with these forms of illnesses. Maddie isn't alone, and neither was I. It seemed like I was the only one experiencing these things, but sadly I was not. Many children and teens, aware or not, struggle with these deadly and harmful mental challenges. 10 people who have death with eating disorder share what recovery looks like. 17 stories of eating disorder survival, and Good Girls, a story of study of anorexia, are just a handful of stories from the millions that live with eating disorders. While sometimes these signs go unnoticed, as future educators and members of our community, it is our job to recognize these signs to save the lives of our students, family, and friends. Not limited to, but the most common cause of disordered eating patterns or eating-related issues may arise from trauma, family patterns, or genetics, history of dieting, and life or sleep changes or transitions. It is also our job to report these signs to those who can help and get access to these care for these individuals.